I just want to tell you that the big storyline of the Bible is this: creation, fall, redemption. And that is the story for every single person in this room too.
Amen.
See, God created everything. He spoke the world into existence. With just the power of His word, everything came into existence. God created the world, and He has all power and all knowledge and all goodness, and He created us and shared some of that with us. It's nuts. The one who created everything in this world created you and me, and He gave us the ability to create too. That's why I'm able to play these songs and this music. It's stuff that I got to create, but it's really just a reflection of my Creator.
Yeah. Amen.
See, He created us to have relationship with us. In the garden where everything started, God took Adam, his first human creation, and just like a father would with a son, He goes and He begins to create all the animals, and He says, Adam, I want you to go ahead and name some of these animals. That's dope, right? Like a dad taking a pet home to his kid and being like, here son, you give him a name. I created it. I could just do it alone, but I want you to be a part of my plan. How dope is that?
Yeah.
That's a real loving father. Yeah. He says, you go ahead, create some of these, create names for these animals. I created them, but I'll let you create their names. We had perfect relationship with God. But then something happened. See, God put this tree in the garden among everything else. God said, go ahead, enjoy everything that I've created. But just don't touch this one tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And He said, don't touch that tree. Why? Because is he some overbearing, overprotecting dad who wants to cut off all fun and enjoyment? No. But He puts that one tree there to say, don't touch this. And by you not touching it, it shows that I am still God. That you can't touch everything because that's reserved for me. But I'm going to let you touch everything else. I'm going to let you enjoy everything else. Just don't touch this, so that you would show reverence for me, respect for me, and know that I am God. And what do? We want the tree, right? It's giving us 9 bajillion other things to enjoy. I want the one thing I can't touch. Why? We go and we eat from that tree, and now we mess up the relationship between God and us.
Come on.
We messed it up. We crossed them. Anybody ever been in a relationship and that person crossed you? Yeah. Right? And you're like, yo, hold up, TV time out. You can't just go around doing that. It messes things up a little bit. Right? Because all of us have a standard. All of us have standards for the people that we want to be with, right? We don't just pick up any schmo off the street. Like, oh, you want to get married? Okay, let's do this. We all got standards for the people we're going to be in deep relationship with, right? I have standards. Here's one of my standards. You gotta have teeth. That's just, I'm just saying. That's just, you know, that's part one. I don't even care if they're fake. Just have some, you know what I'm saying? Standard. Ladies, I know y'all got standards. Like little minor standards, like he has to have nice manicured hands. I know, all right, we all know. You guys all got standards. God has a standard too. See, our standards are usually based on us. They should be at least, right? Like, we don't see the slob who has no job, who doesn't do anything to take care of his body, be like, you know what, she's got to be a supermodel. Because that's just my standard, and I don't do anything but supermodels. Right? That's like, dude, the standard, that doesn't match up. Because you're not striving for that at all. That doesn't make sense. But God has a standard for who He wants to have a relationship with. And God is perfect. So that kind of creates a problem with us. Because we're not perfect. So how can we have an intimate relationship with God?
Yeah, come on.
We don't meet His standard. Especially since we've sinned against Him like we did in the garden. Every single one of us in here has sinned against God. Yeah. We've crossed Him. He says, don't go over here, and we're like, all right, I'll see you later, I'm going over here. Every single one of us has broken His laws, His commandments, and spit in His face. God has forgiven us too, over and over again. If you're a Christian in here, you know what this is. You come to God, ask for forgiveness, and then turn around and done the exact same thing you just asked for forgiveness for. Yeah. We consistently come and spit into the face of God. He shouldn't have a relationship with us. What we deserve is eternal separation from him and eternal punishment by a holy God. We deserve to be in hell for an eternity. Every single person in this room. I don't care if you were born on the altar. Y'all be like, I grew up in church, me and God are cool. Man, you've sinned against God too. We deserve separation from him.
That's right.
We've fallen. He created us for love and relationship, and he gives you intrinsic value and worth just because you're a child of God. Ladies, you're beautiful tonight because God made you and you're his daughter.
True.
Men, y'all have value and worth and dignity because God made you and you're his sons. That should be where we find our identity in the one who created us, but we find it in everything else. He created us. We've fallen because of sin, but God had a plan for redemption. He said, see, we can't kick it because there's this beef that we have. This sin has separated us.
Jesus.
And the only way that you could kick it with me is if you were perfect. You'd have to meet my standards.
Wow.
But none of us are perfect. But God says this, the wages of sin is death. For all of the sin that we have committed against God, we deserve death. But God says, instead of you dying, what I'm going to do is have my perfect son, the one who has met all my standards, step in and take your death. And that's what Jesus did for us at the cross.